And nice move in the end from Tanea Phillips. Looked like she almost lost her footing, but got it to go. Bowen, who's been really good early for Waverley. The leading scorer in this one, along with Jarry. Here's Cunningham with the mismatch. They come with the help, but Cunningham just muscles her way in for two. Nice move. Cassandra Hill came with the help, and she's going to be called with the foul here, Cunningham. Got a hand in, but she's fouled Todd Hunter in the process. So they're in the bonus as well here, the Sabres. So Todd Hunter will go to the line. Splits a pair, does Todd Hunter. Sabres lead by one. Bowen just picked up her dribble. Ewan, though, comes to rescue her. Hobber right up in the face of Lisa Ewan. Gives it off to Bygate. Try to draw the charge, and does. Smart play there from Amanda Hobber. Bygate just didn't have enough time to react as Hobber just set her feet perfectly. So Todd Hunter now. The shot clock's off here. The Sabres with the lead. A chance to extend it before the end of one. Phillips back inside to Hill. Bygate doing a good job on her. And Hill looked like she may have walked, but it'll be a foul first. Just pushed her off balance, did Bygate, says the referee. So, as they are in the bonus, Cassandra Hill will head to the line for two. First one drops for Hill. 18 minutes per game so far this season off the Sabres bench. Gets both to go. So the Falcons have 5.9 to work with. What can Lisa Ewan do? Pushing it ahead. Ewan still going. Cunningham puts up the floater. Just rims out. So no good for Waverley. The Sabres off to a good start here. 25-22 the margin reads. Sabres doing well. Rachel Jarry and Tanea Phillips both off to nice starts. 8 points apiece for them. Phillips with a couple of three-pointers and Rachel Jarry with a couple of three-pointers the old-fashioned way. Muscling her way in for a pair of and ones. And meanwhile, Bowen leads the way for Waverley. Both teams shooting the ball well. 47% for Waverley and 4 of 7 from beyond the arc as well for the Falcons. So ticking all those boxes. But the offensive rebounding numbers are also a bit of a worry. The Sabres leading that one 6-2. So a bit to clean up there from the Waverley perspective. And this is also a Sabres team that has been out-rebounded time and time again throughout this NBL1 season. So if they're to clean that up this afternoon, it's going to put them a long way towards the result they're after. Fast break points as well. Another place where this Sabres team has gone wrong. Throughout the course of the season, they've almost been doubled in terms of what their opponents have done on the fast break to what they have. But a good start nonetheless. Jarry, the game's leading rebounder with 4. So Waverley needed an answer here. They were absolutely fantastic last week against Nunawading. I think it's fair to say probably the best game of their season so far. After a pretty hot start from shooting beyond the arc, they just defensively have been a little shaky here against the Sabres early. So Hobber to inbound for the Sabres to start this one off. O'Neill back into the game as well. Five points per game so far in a short stint back in the NBL1 for O'Neill. Here's Glennie as well into the game. Opted with a bit of a bench unit here as Jarry makes a nice move to the rim, but way short there from Jarry on that occasion. Straight ahead to Motsitsky. Nice pass into Cunningham has been cut off, though, by the Sabres. Tried to thread the needle, I think, there. Picks up her dribble as Jarry. Here's Hobber. around the screen, throws up the mid-ranger. That one no good, though. It was a nice screen from Cassandra Hill. Bowen pushing the pace for Waverley. Ahead to Cunningham. Nice break run by the Falcons there. Bowen and Cunningham connecting. And they cut the margin to 1 point. Glennie just working on Majiski. Picks up the dribble and throws up the mid-range. Way short, though, on that occasion. Here's Cunningham on the wing. Be an interesting matchup between her and Rachel Jarry this afternoon. Bowen finds her way all to the hoop and comes up with the second opportunity. She looks surprised herself at how much space she had. Bit of a breakdown there from the Sabres. And Nia Locke will check in for the first time this afternoon. Renee Majiski to come out for Waverley. Nia Locke's been really good off the bench this season for Waverley, putting up just under 5 points per game. Shooting the three ball at 36% as well as Hobart inside to Hill. She can't get the lay-in to go, though. It was a nice pass from Hobart. So here's Ewan. Cunningham calling for Locke to come, and Hill gets their hand in. Cunningham is trying to hand it off. So it's a timeout on the floor. Waverley back in the lead here, 26-25. And the Sabres with a bit to talk over, yet to score here in the second period, just a couple of minutes in. Of course, the Chadstone Frogs are our team of the week here today at Waverley. One of our burgeoning domestic clubs here at Waverley Basketball Stadium, doing the job on the mop. I'm sure you'll see them on the broadcast throughout this afternoon. Bowen is the game's leading scorer with 10 in this one. Impressive start from her. And both teams with 5 turnovers apiece. Turnovers has been a bit of a struggle for both these teams this season. Sandringham, 16 turnovers per game. Meanwhile, Waverley, 16 as well per game. So both teams with a bit to work on in terms of looking after the ball. As we get set to get underway out of this timeout, Nia Locke to remain in an inbound for the Falcons. Michaela Miller coming in as well for Waverley. So Ewan over to Locke. The Sabres with a zone here. Running out of time as Cunningham will have to shoot it. And the three-pointer goes. End of shot clock 3 for Tegan Cunningham. And they needed that. Waverley got out of jail. O'Neill just fumbles it. Michaela Miller comes up with it ahead to Bowen. Bowen misses the lane. She's come up with the board, though. So it looks like it's going to be the Sabres ball. A foul on Lisa Ewan. Disappointing miss from Bowen. And the Sabres lucky not to concede a basket there on that occasion as O'Neill just fumbled the pass. So here they go. Jarry with Cunningham on her. Patish back into the game. Bowen just swiped at it. Play on, says the referee. Back out to Todd Hunter. Working on Locke. Nice little drive from Todd Hunter, but Locke did well to worry her out of it. Comes up with the miss. So Ewan for Waverley. Cunningham's got O'Neill on her. Back out to Bowen at the top. Shot clock at 12. Lisa Ewan. Not a lot of movement here for Waverley as Cunningham again will have to bail out the Falcons. Cunningham is on from long range. Up to 8 points now, Tegan Cunningham. And the Falcons out to a 6-point lead. Todd Hunter comes around the Jarry screen. Locke does well to make her pick up her dribble. Jarry throws up the little hook shot. No good. Yet to score here in the second period, Rachel Jarry, after a really active first quarter. Cunningham, nice pass into Bowen. But it's come off Waverley hands. She wasn't really expecting it by the looks, Kelly Bowen. She's staying with the players. Batiste throws it into Todd Hunter. Yet to score in this quarter are the Sabres. 3.5 minutes in as Phillips might be about to change that. She's drawn the foul, heading to the line for 2. So 14 points per game this season for Tanea Phillips. And shot the 3 ball at 41%, as we said earlier. Having a really impressive season for this Sabres team. And she comes up with the Southern Sabres' first couple of baskets for the second period. As she gets a hand in there and lock, she'll keep it though. Forces it back out to Cunningham. 9 on the shot clock. Here's Bowen. She'll fire from the top. That one though, no good. Miller does a good job to tap it out to Ewan. She can fire now, Michaela Miller. And Cunningham tries to tip it back up and in. A little disappointed, though, with that attempt as Todd Hunter the other way. So here's Phillips. Once again, finding her way to the hoop. Lovely pump fake, but can't get the lay-in to go. Phillips misses an easy one there. Into Locke, cutting to the hoop. How about that from Nia Locke? Nice cut to the rim. Her first bucket of the game. And Jarry throws up the 3. No good. O'Neal. Plenty of space and makes him pay. Easy 2 there for Amy O'Neal. And we're back to a 4-point margin halfway through this second period. And she's stepped over the half-court line. Backcourt violation on Lisa Ewan. She's hit the floor hard. Todd Hunter did well defending her. She looked a little bemused at first by the contact she was getting, Lisa Ewan, and in the end it's cost her as she was forced over the backcourt. And she'll take a break now, Ewan. Donald coming back in after acquiring 2 fouls early in this one. She sat out for about the last 7 or 8 minutes of game time. Jarry pulls up, and it goes for Rachel Jarry. She's back on the score sheet in double digits with 10. Donald just directing traffic now. Makes their move, pulls it back out. Oh, nice hesitation. Sam Donald into Ernst, who checked back in moments ago. Nice pass from Sam Donald. Carly Ernst gets it to go for Waverley. And they keep the 4-point margin. Here's Jarry. Back out to Todd Hunter. Phillips. Coming with the screen is Jarry. Bygate and her get tangled up, though. And it will be a foul on Jess Bygate. So that's the 3rd foul of the period for Waverley as a team. And Bygate and Miller will check out. Bree Bishop coming in for her first minutes this afternoon, as does Renee Mazitsky, who comes back in. Phillips. And they switch. Nia Locke on her now. Over to Jarry. Working on Ernst. Spins. Nice block from Carly Ernst. Jarry, though, comes up with it. Passes to Batisha. Another block. Mazitsky does well. And it's going to be Waverley ball. Shot clock violation. Good defense from the Falcons. So Bishop coming in for her first minutes. From Connecticut in the US. Attended American International College. Spent 3 years over there playing for the Yellow Jackets in the NCAA. As we see our Frogs juniors just wiping up the sweat as we get set to go. O'Neal just making Donald think about it. Now she goes, Sam Donald, all the way to the hoop. That's a tough lane attempt. She's been fouled by Tanea Phillips. Nice aggression from Sam Donald. So, averaging 4.9 assists per game, Sam Donald. Good enough for 8th in the NBL1. As the first free throw just pops out. First trip to the line today for the Falcons. Meanwhile, the Sabres have been there 8 times. Here's Jarry at the top. Batish got Mazitsky on her. Oh, what a steal from Renee Mazitsky. Really well-timed defensive play. Ahead to Cunningham. Hands it off to Donald, who's got Ernst behind her. Now hands it over to Ernst. Making her move as Jarry comes with a double. And she's hit the floor hard, Rachel Jarry. Looks like she might have copped one in the face there. As Todd Hunter will pull up. No good as Batish comes up with it though. And Renee Mazitsky just didn't expect it to pop out that way. She was ready to fly off on the fast break. And now we'll have a pause in gameplay. Jarry's going to remain in this one, but she does look sore. Timeout. So the Falcons lead by 3 here. It's been a slower second period after a really fast start from both teams in the first. But the Falcons still shooting 48% from the field here, 10 of 21. 4 of 7 from 3. They haven't attempted a three-pointer in this one, in this second period, sorry. Phillips and Jarry on 8 and Kelly Bowen as well. So we're just about set to get underway here out of the timeout. The Falcons will stay with the same 5, as will the Sabres. Over to Ernst at the top. Batish on her. Throws out a couple of jab steps, hands it off to Donald. Cunningham. She'll fire. Cunningham's been hot early, but that one doesn't drop. And it's going to be a foul call on the Sabres. It'll stay with Waverley. Ella Batish picks up her second foul. And it's into Mazitsky. Here's Cunningham again in some space. Nice pass into Mazitsky, who gets it to go. Rolling to the rim, Renee Mazitsky, and Cunningham recognised it. The Falcons extend their lead to 5. So Jarry now, over to Phillips. She's got Ernst on her. What a step-through move from Phillips, but can't get it to go. And Ernst has been called for the foul there. Tried to just tap it out to her teammate and ended up collecting Phillips on the way through. And once again, the Falcons have put the Sabres in the bonus, so Phillips will go to the line as Ernst gets set to check out. Bowen to come in. So it's going to be an inbound ball, sorry, my mistake. Out to Phillips. Bowen right up in her grill. Jarry comes with the screen over to Todd Hunter. She's going to fire Todd Hunter. No good though, as Jarry has front position and comes up with the O-board. And she's going to draw the foul, so now they'll be in the bonus, the Sabres. The foul will be on Samantha Donald, her third already, so she's going to have to check out. Lisa Ewan to come in for Waverley. Jarry gets it to go for the Sabres. Two or two for Rachel Jarry, and the margin's back to 3 here as Hobart comes in for Amy O'Neill. Here's Bree Bishop. Haven't seen a heap of her in recent weeks. Off the bench for Waverley. And Bowen throws it out of bounds. Bishop with the V-cut. Just lost her teammate there. Bit of a miscommunication. Todd Hunter. Cunningham nearly with another steal. And Jarry will come up with it. So now they have the numbers, the Sabres. Batish from the baseline, no good. Cunningham nearly came up with a steal. Jarry did a good job, though. And ahead to Cunningham. Pushing the pace is Bishop. Here's Bowen. Flows up the floater, sorry. And she's drawn the foul on the second attempt, Kelly Bowen. Just the second trip to the line coming up for Waverley. And Bowen on 10 points. A chance to join Rachel Jarry as the game's leading scorer with a pair of free throws here. So the Falcons shooting 48% from the field and 50% from three. But meanwhile, the Sabres with 12 trips to the free throw line compared to Waverley's 4. So Waverley taking care of business from the field, but not quite creating the same amount of opportunities that the Sabres are. They've gone a triple team here on Todd Hunter. She passes her way out of it. Phillips down. Here's Todd Hunter at the top. Another miss from three as it's just fallen into the lap of Tanea Phillips, and she's a tough miss there. She's going to throw up another one. Kelly Bowen comes up with a defensive rebound. Trying to put some pressure on the Waverley guards now of the Southern Sabres, and Phillips did well to get a hand in. And it's a turnover on Kelly Bowen, who couldn't see Phillips coming. Here's Hobber. Pulls up. Way off on that occasion. Todd Hunter comes up with it. The Falcons swarm her, and she passes her way out of it. So here's Hobber now in a world of space. Nice cross from Amanda Hobber, but can't get the lay-in to go. It's been a bit of a story so far in this one for the Sabres. It's missing a few easy buckets. Less than a minute to go here in the first half. The Falcons lead by 5 as Miller gets set to check in for Bishop. And the Sabres now shooting 28% from the field compared to the Falcons' 48%, but it is only a 5-point margin. Ewan comes round a couple of screens, now gets it on the wing. Jarrah doing a good job to deny Renee Mazitsky. Ewan will have to drive now and nearly turns it over as Mazitsky retrieves it. Fighting her way in and does well as Todd Hunter to get a hand in. She'll pass it ahead to Phillips. And Phillips gets the lay-in to go. Nice pass from Amelia Todd Hunter. One possession ball game. The shot clock's turned off. The Falcons with a chance for one more before the end of the first half. Here's Bowen just letting the clock wind down. Over to Miller, who throw up the three. That one way off. Jarry comes up with it. 2 seconds to go. She'll throw up the half-court shot. Rachel Jarry, no. No good. So it's 40-37 here at the end of the first half. The Falcons lead this one. Kelly Bowen, the game's leading scorer with 12, with Tegan Cunningham trailing with 11. Phillips and Jarry with 12 apiece for Sandringham. But they haven't got a lot of offense outside of those two. 47% from the field are the Falcons shooting. Meanwhile, the Sabres going at only 29%. But that's not the only tale, as they have 14 offensive rebounds so far in this one, Sandringham. 14 offensive rebounds and only 11 defensive. They've been well and truly out-rebounded, have the Falcons, which is quite uncharacteristic. As we said earlier in the game, the Sabres have struggled rebounding the ball so far this season. And the Falcons also with 11 turnovers, so that's the tale of the tape. The Falcons doing all the efficient shooting, but the Sabres coming up with extra possessions here. We'll take a break for half-time. We're back in about 5 minutes for the second half of this one. The Falcons lead by 3. My name's Liam Ellison. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to Waverley Basketball Stadium for the second half of this matchup between the Falcons and the Sabres. Waverley lead this one 40-37 at halftime. My name's Liam Ellison. I'll be joining you throughout this afternoon for this doubleheader. An interesting first half, to say the least. As we said earlier, the Falcons shooting 47% from the field and 5 of 11 from 3, but getting smashed on the boards, giving up 14 offensive rebounds in a half to a Sandringham team that has been notoriously out-rebounded throughout the NBL1 season. A bit of work to do for the Waverley Bigs, and they throw out a huge lineup here to start the second half. Bygate, Ernst, Cunningham and Bowen all coming out for the Falcons, along with Sam Donald at the point guard position. Batish out there for the Sabres. Jarry, who's been fantastic, as has Tanea Phillips. They have 12 apiece to their name. And Todd Hunter and Amy O'Neill. Cunningham to inbound to get things underway here in the second half. Here's Sam Donald. Over to Bowen at the top. Ernst with the screen. Pops out though. She's going to have to opt it back out to Carly Ernst now. Hands it off to Donald. Into Cunningham. Good D so far from the Sabres. Cunningham throws it up. Gets it to go over the smaller Todd Hunter. Recognised the mismatch. Here's Phillips. And Ernst goes under on the screen. Over to O'Neill. She'll provide the screen, will Phillips. Nice pass into Phillips, who gets the reverse lay-in to go. Amy O'Neill with the assist. And it's back to a three-point ball game. Perfect start for both teams here in the second half. Here's Bowen. To the corner, into Ernst. Just pops out for Carly Ernst. Had the height advantage on Tanea Phillips. Here's O'Neill. Working on Kelly Bowen. Oh, what a hesitation move. Nice pass into Phillips, who's going to have to opt it out to Jarry. The three-pointer goes for Jarry, and it's going to be a miss. Cunningham now the other way. Over to Donald. And Sam Donald gets the mid-ranger to drop. Cunningham did well to find her there on the fast break. Her fourth assist in the game, Tegan Cunningham, to 11 points, 6 boards and 4 assists. Phillips comes with the screen for Todd Hunter. He's going to pull up from the free-throw line. Good D, though, from Carly Ernst. And Donald comes up with a board for Waverley. Here's Cunningham again. Ahead to Bowen. Finds herself in a world of space, and she draws the foul. Nearly gets the and one. So Bowen to the line for Waverley. Just their third trip to the line in this one for the Falcons. Cunningham picked up her dribble in mid-court, and the Sabres swarmed on her trying to come up with the steal. And as Cunningham found a way out of it, and ahead to Bowen, she was in a world of space. 2-on-1 opportunity. As Bowen splits a pair. Falcons out to a 6-point lead here in the third period. Here's Glennie all the way out to Jarry, over to O'Neill. Bowen closes out on her. She'll pull up now, O'Neill. A little short, though, as Cunningham comes up with a board. And Rachel Jarry has received another knock in the head. Looks a little sore. Oh, Ernst trying to find the cutting Tegan Cunningham. And it's going to be a turnover. Would have been an easy bucket if she had found her. Cunningham was cutting to the rim for 2. And Jarry will check out now. Looks like she's holding her ear by the looks. Just copped a little whack from Cunningham on that last rebounding contest. So Cassandra Hill comes in for her for the Sabres. Here is Glennie. Todd Hunter. O'Neill. Thought about the three. Cunningham did well defensively. Hands it off to Tanea Phillips. Back out to Hill. Now Phillips will fire from the wing. Tanea Phillips drops her third three-pointer of the game. And that'll feel good for Sandringham, who were previously 2 of 14 from beyond the arc. Now there'll be 3, and all 3 of them have come from Phillips. Bygate over to Donald. Force the drive out to Bowen, he'll fire. Kelly Bowen gets it to drop. Straight back at you. The Falcons come up with the answer. Here's Cassandra Hill. Over to Phillips again. Another three-pointer goes. Tanea Phillips, we've got a shootout here at Waverley. She's up to 17 in the ball game, Tanea Phillips. And it's a three-point margin here in favour of Waverley. What can they do to respond? Cunningham's got the smaller Todd Hunter on her. Bit of a wayward pass. She manages to come up with it. And it's going to be an offensive foul on Cunningham. So Sabres ball. They came with the double team, and Cunningham just pushed her way out of it. But the referee picked it up. So a chance to tie here if Tanea Phillips can continue this hot shooting start. 4 3-pointers in the game. The only Sabre to have hit the scoreboard from beyond the arc. Todd Hunter's fouled by Donald. So it'll stay with Sandringham. No basket, says the referee.
Samantha Donald picks up her 4th personal foul. 2nd team foul. She sits down. Lisa Ewan back in for the Falcons.
Lisa Ewan back into the ball game, and Sam Donald comes out. As Bowen's come up with it here, off to the races is Kelly Bowen and gets it to go. So Bowen's up to 17 points here. It's a bit of a shootout between her and Phillips here in this third period. O'Neill, nice pass in to Glennie and gets the foul. Can't get the lane to go, but a couple of chances to redeem herself at the charity stripe coming up for Sherry Glennie. Putting up just under 6 points per game this season and 4 rebounds and only limited minutes off the Sabres bench. A nice role player for them. As the first one goes for Glennie. Two or two for Sherry Glennie. So right up in the grill here of Lisa Ewan is Todd Hunter. It's a 3-point ball game. Here's Bowen. Been influential here in the third. Ernst. Into Cunningham on Phillips. And that one drops in for Tegan Cunningham. Nice move down low. Just had the advantage on Phillips as O'Neill. This will round the back crossover, and now she'll direct traffic back out to Glennie. And it's going to be a foul here on Cunningham. Todd Hunter hit the floor hard, and Cunningham can't believe it.
Personal foul is on Tegan Cunningham, her 3rd 14 foul.
Looks like she was coming to set the screen on Cunningham, and she's been assessed with the foul. So here now is Cassandra Hill, who nearly throws it out of bounds. Glennie retrieves it. O'Neill. Back out to Phillips for a 5th 3-pointer. No good, though. And they've come up with it, the Sabres. Ernst, another attempt at it. So Todd Hunter again, and tries to come up with the steal, and she's been called for the foul. Carly Ernst is frustrated. And that is Waverley's 5th foul in the quarter with 5 minutes to go here. So the Sabres look set to go to the charity stripe with over a half remaining in this third period. Carly Ernst will sit down. Nia Locke to come in. And that is Ernst's 4th foul in the contest. So that is a big blow for Waverley. As that free throw attempt a little short from Todd Hunter. Not what the Falcons needed. Been severely out-rebounded in the first half. And now their star, 6'5" sharpshooter Carly Ernst in foul trouble. So it'll stay with Waverley. Foul call on the floor. Amanda Hobber assessed with that one, checking in just moments ago. Still lead by 4 points to the Falcons, but Bit of a challenge here mounted as Ewan thought she was hit in the face. And once again, Todd Hunter right up in her face, Lisa Ewan. So Ewan now to inbound. Phillips denying Bowen. Here is Bowen. Just 8 left on the shot clock. Nia Locke needs to throw it up and does. The floater a little off. Bygate comes up with it. Bowen throws up another long-range bomb. That's a long two. But Kelly Bowen is on fire in this third period. Up to 19 in the ball game. Todd Hunter, that one's an air ball, and Bowen comes up with it. So ahead to Nia Locke now. Off to the races is Nia Locke, and blocked by Rachel Jarry. Nice defense from the Sabres star. And it will be Southern Sabres ball. There's been a foul call on the Falcons, so they'll go the line for 2, in fact, will the Sabres. They don't look too happy with it either to Waverley as Renee Madziski comes in. Bygate will take a trip to the bench, and Waverley just need a steady here. They lead by 6, but with Ernst in foul trouble and with 4.5 minutes remaining and the Sabres in the bonus, need some steady heads. Hobber gets the first one to go. So Hobber gets a pair to drop at the free-throw line. It's back to a 4-point ball game. What can they do here, Waverley? Here's Ewan. Kelly Bowen's been hot in the third period. As has Cunningham throughout this game. Here's Nia Locke. Pulls up from 3. And she's been fouled, in fact. So she'll go to the line for 3 shots, Nia Locke. Amelia Todd Hunter fouled her, and she looks a little bemused.
Amelia Todd Hunter, her first. Nia Locke will shoot 3.
First one drops for Nia Locke. Just under 5 points per game this season, shooting 36% as well from beyond the arc. And 92% from the free-throw line. As we see right there, she goes 3 from 3 at the charity stripe. And that'll help the Falcons, who are now out to a 7-point lead. Threatening to take a commanding lead into the end of this third period. Just turns it over to Sherry Glennie. Todd Hunter wasn't expecting it. Here's Ewan. Tries to get it into Cunningham and does. Out to Locke, who'll fire from the corner. A little strong, though, on the three-point attempt. Phillips comes up with it round the back, nearly turns it over. She's come up with it. Nia Locke dives in, but it'll stay with the Sabres. She's risky play there from Phillips to dribble her way out of it, but the Sabres keep it. And with 3 minutes 40, a bucket here would be much needed as they've turned it over, though, the Sabres. Bowen ahead to Mazitzki, holds it up, waits for a teammate, ahead to Locke, who gets it to go. The fast break is good for Waverley, and they're out to a 9-point lead with 3.5 remaining in the third. Just an ill-timed turnover from the Sabres on that last possession. And Waverley are in the box seat at the moment. Here's Amanda Hobber. Oh, got lost there, did Nia Locke, and Rachel Jarry misses the lane. Unexpected miss there, to say the least, from Rachel Jarry, and fouled is Renee Mazitzki, and one. Looked like a bit of a frustration play there from Jarry as Bowen finds Mazitzki open down low. Chance to make it a 12-point margin with a three throw here from Renee Mazitzki. O'Neill and Batiste check in for Todd Hunter and Glennie. And after a couple of minutes ago, the Falcons found themselves in some foul trouble. They looked a little bit rattled by a few calls from the referee, but they have answered in a big way with a 6-0 run, and they're out to a 12-point margin. As Ewan's right up in the grill of Amy O'Neill. Here's Hobber. Nia Locke on her. Into Jarry, who nearly got fouled by Mazitzki. Hobber will fire now from the top. A little strong as it's going to fall out into the favour of Tanea Phillips, who finds it cutting Hobber out to O'Neill. She just holds it up. So Hobber now from the baseline. No good. But Batiste comes up with a rebound, so a couple of opportunities here. O'Neal from the top. No good. So another couple of offensive rebounds for Sandringham. Up to 16 in the game is Mazitsky. All the way to the hoop for two. Nyalock with a lovely pass. And Waverley keep rolling here in the third period. Batiste will find a way to the free-throw line. A chance to stop the bleeding here. The Falcons on a 7-0 run. Morgan Riley set to check in for her first minutes this afternoon. Hobber to come out. And Batiste, a chance to steady her Sabres team here at the free-throw line. As the first one drops. It's threatening to blow out here in the third period if Sabres can't respond soon. So she splits a pair, Batiste. And they've been good from the free-throw line throughout this one. They were 16 of 19 with that miss. Ewan, she's doubled, nearly turns it over, but it comes up with Cunningham. Nice pass into Kelly Bowen. And the Falcons continue to ball here in the third period. A well-timed pass from Cunningham. 15-point margin, 1:43 remaining in the third. The Sabres need an answer. Here's O'Neal. Nyalock on her. Over to Riley, who's going to fire from the wing. Cunningham comes up with a board. Morgan Riley wasting no time trying to have an influence in this one. And don't they need it? Sandringham hands it off to Bowen, who'll pull up. Wide open. That one a little short, though. So O'Neal will come up with a board for the Southern Sabres. Well, they've got 1:10 on the clock. And they need a few buckets here. Phillips with 4 3-pointers to her name. Couldn't make it 5. Cunningham comes up with it. Straight ahead to Nyalock. Nearly runs out of real estate and turns it over in the end. Bit of confusion there who the pass was for, I think. O'Neal finding a way to the hoop. There we go for the Sabres. Gets the 2 to drop. Back to a 13-point ball game. And that's Amy O'Neal's 4th point in this one. 3 rebounds and 3 assists, as well as Ewan finding a way to the hoop. Lisa Ewan. Strong move to the bucket. Here's Riley. Wide open now is Morgan Riley. That one again a little short. Phillips comes up with it and misses the lay-in. She's drawn the foul on Renee Mazitsky, and that's an and one for Tanea Phillips. Renee Mazitsky cannot believe it. Much needed bucket for Phillips. The leading scorer for the Sabres in this one with 19. In fact, make that 21. Tech foul, says the referee. So the tech foul is on Tegan Cunningham, and now she'll take a break on the bench. Michaela Miller gets set to check back in. She's looked a little frustrated with the referees throughout this third quarter, Cunningham. So Phillips with a couple of freebies here. And she makes it an 11-point margin. The last one just pops out, though, for Phillips. So with 18.6 seconds left on the clock, it's an 11-point ball game. Phillips to inbound. Chance to make it a single-digit game going into the last period for the Sabres. Here's O'Neal. Just assessing her options. Jarry trying to make something happen. Over to Phillips, who'll fire. That one no good. So a couple of seconds to work with here for Bowen. She'll have to throw it up. And they've collided, have Jarry and Kelly Bowen. That's the end of 3. The scoreline reads 67-56 in favour of the Falcons. It was a great third period from them. They looked a little frustrated with the referees throughout. Got themselves in foul trouble early. but managed to answer thanks to some stellar play from Bowen and Cunningham. Ernst is in foul trouble with 4. Just 8 points to her name, but Waverley have been fantastic. And look in control. Tanea Phillips, the leading scorer, though, in this one with 23 points in 4 3-pointers. In fact, that'll be 3 3-pointers. She must have had a foot on the line in this one, as I can see just looking at the team stats. The Sabres are 3 of 22 from the three-point line, sorry. I've had tremendous struggles from beyond the arc. And 28% from the field. Meanwhile, the Falcons shooting 54% from the field, 42% from 3, and 80% from the free-throw line. Not far off shooting 50, 40, 90 as a team.
Falcons inaugural season with the NBL1. We're very pleased to have Melbourne Orthodontic Group as a major sponsor with the association. 5 specialist orthodontists, 6 dedicated dental auxiliaries.
And the starters for this final quarter for Waverley out on the court. Nia Locke, Renee Mazitsky, Michaela Miller, Kelly Bowen, and Lisa Ewan. Played some big minutes here in this game, Lisa Ewan. Donald found herself in foul trouble early. And she's played her shift nicely, has Ewan. Rachel Jarry yet to score in this second half. Copped a couple of hard knocks. Looks a little bit rattled at the moment, as she'll take a break to start this last quarter. Batish Jarry, who in fact will play here in the 4th period, my mistake. Tanea Phillips, Todd Hunter, and Amy O'Neill are the 5 for the Sabres. 11-point margin. Can the Sabres get off to a quick start here in the 4th to kickstart a potential comeback? Looking for their 4th win of the season. Meanwhile, the Falcons gunning for their 3rd win in as many games. Here's Jarry. Mazitsky gets the hand and comes up with the steal. Pushing the pace, but sees a wall of Sandringham defenders. And will have to kick it back out to Lisa Ewan now. Locke coming with the screen. Over to Miller. Inside to Bowen. Lovely seal from Kelly Bowen, but the layup attempt no good. She looks like she might have stepped out of bounds, Kelly Bowen, and she has. So just missed the lay-in attempt, did the Waverley captain. And Jarry to inbound now for the Sabres. Todd Hunter. Over to O'Neill. And Jarry has turned it over. Looked like an unforced error as well. Just fumbled the catch. She's done that a couple of times as well this afternoon. Has looked a little bit off since the opening moments of this game. Nia Locke going to the rim, passes it into Michaela Miller, but no good on the lay-in attempt. Nice aggression from Nia Locke nonetheless. Here's O'Neill. Over to Todd Hunter. Miller doing a good job on O'Neill. And Todd Hunter will fire from the corner. Jarry nearly comes up with the rebound, and it'll stay with the Sabres. His last touch by Nia Locke by the looks. Into O'Neill. Thought about the 3. Now she'll drive baseline. Around a couple of Waverley defenders. Throws up the circus shot. Amy O'Neill. How about that one? Wasn't even looking at the rim there. And the Sabres draw first blood here in the 4th period. Back to a 7-point, make that a 9-point ball game rather, as Bowen draws the foul drive into the hoop. Bowen leading the scoring today for the Falcons with 21. One of 3 Waverley players in double digits. First one drops for Kelly Bowen, averaging 13 points per game this season. Shooting 81% from the charity stripe as well for the Waverley captain. And she goes 2 of 2, takes care of business. Of course, Gonzaga alumni, 3 times WCC champion there. Former WNBL player as well. Jarry muscles her way in, and it's been called a charge. Renee Mazitsky draws it. So it'll be Waverley ball.
On Rachel Jarry, second team foul.
And that is foul number 4, I believe. We'll just get a check on that. She may have actually been fouled out. Big loss if that is the case for the Sabres. Nia Locke once again pushing the pace ahead to Mazitsky, but O'Neill does a great job to come up with the steal. And she wastes no time, O'Neill, in getting the ball moving. They need to get something happening here, do the Sabres. Todd Hunter, baseline. She drives out to Batish. Cross-court pass and turns it over to Kelly Bowen. That was risky. Bowen's got Phillips ahead. Pulls up, though. Miller tries to come up with the board, but O'Neill, once again, pushing the pace. There's a wall of Waverley defenders there. Doesn't worry her. She's working on Miller. Passes down low to Cassandra Hill. It'll stay with the Sabres. Nia Locke looks bemused with the call. 11 points the margin and throws it off the back of Nia Locke. Amy O'Neill is trying some things at the moment. Todd Hunter will fire. No good on that attempt as Falcons have plenty of space here. Ewan ahead to Miller for an easy lay-in. Nice play from the Falcons. And timeout on the floor. Waverley take complete control of this one. They lead by 13 here with 7.5 remaining in the last. Some nice little opportunistic plays from Amy O'Neill. The circus shot and throwing it off the back of Nia Locke. But unfortunately, it hasn't been working as a team for the Sabres. They haven't been able to get it going. And Waverley look well in control here in the fourth quarter.
Final scores around the grounds, and another lead with a big away win at Diamond Valley, 104-74, and Knox winning a tight one at home over Ringwood.
Waverley in some great form over the last couple of weeks, and Sandringham falling last night against Geelong. They lost that one by 9, but against a strong Geelong team, it's quite an effort, although it should be noted that the likes of Ezzy McGregor was not in attendance due to her being, of course, a part of the emerging Opals team at the World University Games coming up. Sarah Blitzars was big in that one as they got the win over a valiant Sabres team. But here they are looking down the barrel of maybe another loss as Waverley look in control as we get set to go. Doubled is Todd Hunter. Back down low to O'Neill. Once again doubled. That's a risky pass to Cassandra Hill. Out to Phillips. Fires from the baseline. No good. Batisha's come up with a board though. And they've turned it over. No, O'Neill keeps it in actually and finds Batish. Lovely work from Amy O'Neill. Todd Hunter driving. And Batish wasn't quite expecting that, so it's come up as Waverley ball ahead to Miller. Can she keep it in? And she's just run out of space. Bowen looking to find Michaela Miller for an easy 2. Just in the end, the pass was a little strong. Here's O'Neill. Looks like she's trying to lift her team here in the fourth, and she'll fire the 3. No good. Bowen with another rebound. Ahead to Miller. Again, wasn't expecting that one, so it's a turnover. Cassandra Hill comes up with it. The Sabres with yet another opportunity. Into Hill. Looked like she may have walked there. Lost her balance. Nia Locke now. They've got numbers here to the Falcons. Pulls up. Does Nia Locke. That one just rattles home for the Falcons. And it's out to a 15-point ball game with 6 minutes to go here. Here's Hill. Todd Hunter on the wing, out to O'Neill. Phillips is trying to post up on Mazitsky. Look pretty stagnant here to the Sabres as Tanea Phillips gets it to go. Well, she's been fantastic today. Up to 25 points, 26 points in fact in the ball game. That's another 3-pointer for Tanea Phillips, the game's leading scorer. And really, she's been almost a one-man or one-woman show, rather. O'Neill has certainly tried some things in this fourth period. She's been pushing the pace. Here's Todd Hunter. And it's going to be a charging call on Amelia Todd Hunter. Renee Mazitsky drew it on that occasion. Morgan Riley and Sherry Glennie getting set to check back in for O'Neill and Batish. And the Falcons as well will sub back in a couple of their veterans, their senior players who found themselves in foul trouble early, Ernst and Donald. They've seen limited minutes as a result this afternoon, but their team has got the job done. Now a chance to have an influence here at the end. It is only a 12-point ball game, though. The Sabres with a chance. Here's Donald from the baseline. An offensive rebound for Renee Maziski, who nearly chucks it out and does. Sense Nylock was there, but it was a little to her left, and so it'll be Sabres' ball. Todd Hunter. Over to Morgan Riley. And the Sabres once again looking a little bit stagnant, but Tanea Phillips gets the ball moving over to Todd Hunter. That three ball drops for Amelia Todd Hunter. And it's back to a single-digit ball game. 4 minutes 40 to go here, plenty of time. 73-64. The Sabres well and truly in this one still. Here's Nia Locke. She's been impressive off the bench today. Miller will pull up a little strong there, so Maziski nearly comes up with it and does. Taps it out to Miller. Nice pass into Locke. And the layup attempt no good, so Todd Hunter's off here. Does have Miller and Ernst ahead of her. Will have to hold it up. Cunningham's getting set to check back in for Waverley as Cassandra Hill draws the foul, set to go to the line for 2 shots. So Sandringham, all of a sudden, with a couple of free throws here, a chance to make it a 7-point ball game as Bowen and Cunningham come back in. The Falcons will opt for their starters. Well and truly sensing that it's game on here. First one drops for Cassandra Hill. And 2 of 2 for Hill. So Sandringham within 7 points. Batish getting set to come back in as well for the Southern Sabres. Todd Hunter right up in there. Oh, she's nearly come up with a steal, in fact. And it's going to be a jump ball. How about that play from Amelia Todd Hunter? Donald didn't like the contact she received, but looked like crafty defense from where I was sitting. It'll stay with the Falcons. They're doubling on Sam Donald. She'll dribble her way out of it, though. And she may have drawn the foul that time on Todd Hunter. So Donald doing a good job there. And that is the Sabres' 4th foul of the period. Edging towards putting the Falcons in the bonus. Once again, Todd Hunter right up in the grill of Donald. Back out to Mazitsky. Cunningham with the screen for Ernst, and she will give it inside to Ernst, but well done, Tanea Phillips, to tap it out. Nice defensive play. Riley will have to hold it up. Todd Hunter back to Phillips. She's been big today. Crosses over. Thought about shooting it. And now she'll retrieve it, Tanea Phillips. 26 to her name as Morgan Riley fires the 3, and it drops. The Sabres keep on coming, and it is back to a 4-point ball game. Waverley looked well in control a couple of minutes into this 4th period, but the Sabres have just kept chipping away here, and it is game on here at Waverley Basketball Stadium. Shot clock winding down, 7 to go. Cunningham pulls up. That one drops for Tegan Cunningham. And that is a huge bucket. And it seems like throughout this afternoon, whenever the Falcons have needed someone to just bail them out, Cunningham has had all the answers as Todd Hunter nearly drops in the 3. All of a sudden, this one has come alive here offensively. Both teams red hot. Falcons are shooting 50% from the field as, geez, just rolls out. Mazitsky comes up with the board. Just falls into the arms of Bowen. Another offensive rebound for Renee Mazitsky. One of the league leaders in that stat. And she puts it back up and in. A couple of much-needed buckets for Waverley. 4 rebounds in the game for Renee Mazitsky, 3 of which are all offensive. Here's Riley, hit a three-pointer just moments ago. It's back out to an 8-point ball game. Falcons doing a great job and just retaking control. 2 minutes 20 on the clock. Glennie. That one goes for the Sabres. Back to 6 points. Sherry Glennie getting the bucket to drop. She's up to 6. Waverley looking for another basket just to steady themselves. Here's Bowen working on Batish, driving baseline. Meets a couple of Sabres defenders and they come up with the stop. And the foul. Bowen has fouled Batish there. Only 2 team fouls for the Falcons. Plenty to give up with 1:48 remaining on the clock. So with a 6-point ball game, this is a chance for the Sabres to potentially cut it to a 1-possession ball game. They just keep coming here in the 4th period. Batish just assessing her options over to Glennie. Cross court to Phillips, who pulls up. No good on the 3. Cunningham comes up with it. Ahead to Mazitsky, driving hard at the hoop. And it goes for Renee Mazitsky. Nice finish there on the fast break. And well done from Cunningham just to recognise that opportunity. 8-point ball game. They need a bucket now, the Sabres. Batish driving on Bowen. And it'll stay with Sandringham. Nearly turned it over. Did Batish there. So Amy O'Neill getting set to check in. In fact, it'll be a timeout on the floor. Well, the equation is 1 minute and 16 seconds remaining on the clock. And it is an 8-point ball game. 79-71. The Sabres have just kept coming, but at 8 points, they're probably going to need a couple of 3-pointers, and that may come in the way of Tanea Phillips, who has 26 points to her name. They are 6 of 29 from 3 in this one. Meanwhile, the Falcons have been far more selective from beyond the arc. They're 5 of 12 for 42%. Kelly Bowen with 23 for Waverley, and Cunningham as well with 17. Both players with a double-double. 11 rebounds apiece for them. And Cunningham with 5 assists as well to her name, continuing her great form from last week, which was one of the key reasons they were able to upset Nunawading on their home floor. And here they are, Waverley, looking to continue their hot streak. Bit of a revival, possibly, of their NBL1 season. Amy O'Neill now with other ideas for Sandringham. Over to Batish from the baseline. The mid-ranger drops. Back to a 6-point ball game. Sandringham keep coming. And they straight away foul Sam Donald. So that will also put Waverley in the bonus. Donald, a 70% free throw shooter on the season.
We're in the bonus here, so Samantha Donald will go to the line for 2.
First one goes for Sam Donald. Back to a 7-point equation. Cunningham and the referee just disputing the correct place to stand on the free throw line. Is 2-2 for Sam Donald. A nice steadier for Waverley. Over to Phillips. Here's O'Neill. She'll fire from the top. No good on the 3, though. Kelly Bowen comes up with it. That's a big stop there for Waverley. Although O'Neill was wide open. Over to Donald. Here's Ernst. Will they look to foul here? In fact, they do. So, plenty of good free-throw shooters on the floor for Waverley.
Personal foul on Amelia Tonhunter.
And once again, Donald will go to the line for 2 after going 2-2 just moments ago. Jess Bygate to come in for Renee Mazitsky. Perhaps a little free-throw substitution there. Only a 51% shooter from the free-throw stripe is Renee Mazitsky. Well, Jess Bygate shoots 85%, so not many options to foul here for the Sabres. So splits a pair 9-point ball game. They need a 3 here, the Sabres. Here's Todd Hunter. Good D from the Falcons, just denying their opposition. Here's Batish. Todd Hunter will shoot from the wing. No good. But Todd Hunter will come up with it. So what can they do here, the Sabres? Throws it off the leg of Carly Ernst, who just smiles at her WNBL teammate. Little cheeky move. It'll stay with the Southern Sabres. 28 seconds on the clock. Into Amy O'Neill. And she finds her way in for 2, but in fact misses the reverse lay-in. So looks like that'll just about do it here with 18 seconds on the clock. They're not looking to foul by the looks. Coming up with a steal, in fact. Sanaya Phillips with another chance for the Sabres. Batiste throws up the 3. That one's short, so that'll do it here. The Falcons come up with a nice victory, 82-73. Another win for this resilient Falcons team who continue their late season resurgence. Kelly Bowen led the way in scoring with 23 and 11 rebounds. Tegan Cunningham was 17, 13 rebounds in fact, and 6 assists. Meanwhile, from the Southern Sabres perspective, Sanaya Phillips was fantastic with 26 points and 13 rebounds. The Falcons get the job done here. They improve to 6-9 on the season. 3 games out of the top 8 now, giving themselves a puncher's chance to potentially make a late season finals run. Meanwhile, the Sabres drop to 3-13. We'll be back in about 10 to 15 minutes for the second game of this doubleheader here at Waverley Basketball Stadium between the Falcons and the Southern Sabres. My name's Liam Ellison. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. We'll see you soon.